to Coffee with Cannon, backyard beverage, whatever you want to call it. Pretty busy day, actually. Earlier on today, 3 people in the chat, one with the thumbs up. I know it's in the Northeast, it's sort of close to dinner time, but I know you guys are from all over the world, so I thought I might sneak a show in here. And usually Coffee with Cannon is not done this late, but because of everything going on, I had the earlier show on the court case coming up of Bryan Kohberger. A lot of information relative to that. Let me see some of you guys in the chat. Show yourself. Come on in, join us on Coffee with Cannon, backyard beverage, bitchin' with Bill, whatever you want to call it. I just see 4 people in the chat, but no one's shown their face yet on the screen. So let me see who's watching. 7 in the chat, 3 with the thumbs up. Where are you guys? Come on the screen, come into the chat. Let me know you're here so I know where you're from. This is Coffee with Cannon, backyard beverage. A little bit of a later Coffee with Cannon today, of course, because of everything going on today. A busy sort of news day. Of course, everyone on YouTube is waiting for that Karen Reed verdict, and I know it hasn't come in yet, but so far it's, it appears. Run the World from San Diego, how are you, Run the World? It appears that it probably will not come in today. It'll probably be tomorrow. It's a little bit too late for them to come up with a verdict right now, so probably will be, excuse me, sometime tomorrow. But and then of course Larson's mom, hi from Massachusetts. Of course tonight is the debate, the presidential debate, which I'm not going to really get into, but I'm sure many people are waiting to watch that. It should be somewhat entertaining. A lot of rules, it seems, to that debate. Anyway, today we covered there was sort of a short hearing on the Bryan Kohberger case. Of course, that's the murders. Hello, Kim. Good to see you. Yes, Jocelyn's celebration of life, the funeral services for Jocelyn Nungare, who was murdered by those 2 illegal aliens the other day, and her celebration of life was today. I thought it was earlier in the day. I apologize if I'm at all interrupting that, but we covered that case twice, and it's just absolutely horrific, and we pray for her soul and for her family, mostly the survivors that have to live with the loss of a 12-year-old girl. Absolutely, absolutely horrific. Anyway, folks, so the news with the Kohberger case, and of course that's not Kohberger case, it's the Idaho 4 case. Zana Knodel, Ethan Chapin, Kaylee Gonzalez, and Madison Mogen. A judge blamed DJT for her death. Oh my God, that's crazy. On a day like today when Jocelyn Nungare is being laid to rest, I think they should try to leave the politics out of it today, although it's tough to do. Maria Del Carmen, hi from Des Moines, Iowa. Run the World, who is DJ Tree? Well, I don't want to get into that right now. I don't want to get into the politics. I wanted to talk about the results of the hearing today in regards to Bryan Kohberger. It looks like, Ann Taylor, the lead attorney for Bryan Kohberger, she's been trying to put this case off for probably till, well, it was set for June 2025. And if we recall, the murders occurred on November 13th, 2022. So by the time it goes to trial, it'll be over 2 years, over 2 years. Actually, almost 2.5 years. So you can imagine the agony of the families of Ethan Chapin, Zana Knodel, Madison Mogen, and Kaylee Gonzalez. Just absolutely torturous for them, and the waiting, as they say, the waiting is the hardest part 30 in the chat, 10 with the thumbs up. Welcome to Coffee with Cannon Backyard Beverage. I'm a little bit later today because we covered another story earlier, and I thought I'd like to come on and just talk to a lot of you folks. Run the world. Pesa, yeah, poor family has to wait for justice in the Koberger case, the Idaho 4. And I hate to call them the Idaho 4, but Ethan Chapin, Zana Canoro, Madison Mogan, and Kaylee Consalves. The families have been waiting so long. And, you know, we spoke about that, the writer, Howard Bloom, and all the media is giving him all kinds of play as if he knows anything about investigating homicides because he's putting his book out. And he's put his book out and he has these theories. But what does his theories mean? His theories mean nothing. He's a damn writer. And a fiction piece at that. So we know, if any of you guys know, we've been reading that case. That case was coming out in a magazine, chapter by chapter, by the name of Airmail. So it's not like the book is brand new. The book was being put out. Pesa, no, those theories are going to help nobody, or they'll help him by making money. That's the only way it's not going to help anything. I mean, it's his theories, and what does his theories mean? His theories mean absolutely nothing, because he's a writer, and he's a damn good writer. I'll give him that. I'm not going to say that he's not. He's an excellent writer, but that doesn't mean he's an authority. He like made a statement to Law and Crime that he had to go there to run the world. I'm sorry to hear that your brother was killed. He was a border patrol officer and he lost his life on the border. I'm sorry to hear that. Tragic, absolutely tragic. Run the world, I'm pro-immigration. I'm 100% pro-immigration. But as I say all the time, I'm 100% legal immigration, not illegal immigration is what it is right now. And I know I sound like a broken record, but that happens to be a fact. 35 in the chat, 17 with the thumbs up. Let's get you guys coming in from across the pond. Where are you guys? Is it late, early, late? What is it across the pond? Hey, you're back, Kami. Yes, I'm back. I decided to come on the air and do my Coffee with Cannon and Backyard Beverage Bitchin' with Bill. It's always great to talk to you guys live. A little bit of a different venue. Pesa, it's late in Europe. Okay. Yeah, I guess it's like 6 hours from us, right? Kim Alliston, 10:30 in the evening. So approximately, right? 8 hours. Oh, it's 8 hours ahead in some places. 35 in the chat, 17 with the thumbs up. This is Coffee with Cannon, Backyard Beverage, Bitchin' with Bill, whatever you want to call it. We spoke again about the Brian Koberger case today. Chitwin Slim, afternoon, Sarge from northern Wisconsin. Good to see you, Chitwin Slim. That's some name. Chitwin Slim, love it. Yeah, so it was it was interesting. It was a sort of a short hearing. We thought that the hearing was going to be Mel Stiller, hello. Wanda Courtney, hello, Heather, whatever. Run the world. I'm so sorry to hear that. I was expecting a longer court hearing, but it went really quick. And it's so amazing when the judge is named Judge. Judge John Judge was presiding over this case. And he's more or less bent over backwards for Ann Taylor, the lead attorney for Brian Koberger. Karen French, good morning from Australia. Australia, it's always amazing. You folks from Australia come in so far away, but yet so close. The world is everyone's backyard these days with air travel and everything else. It's just so incredible. 45 with the thumbs up, 45 in the chat, 24 with the thumbs up. Excuse me. So my allergies lately, maybe I'm back here in Allergy Central, back by the pool, you know, so got to drink the water and be ready for those winds, whatever the wind is blowing in. So Again, someone mentioned earlier that the young girl who was murdered, Jocelyn Nungaray, was buried today. Just absolutely horrific. That, what's going on at the border. Amber, 3:30 here in Salt Lake City. Wasn't Ethan a triplet? Pessa, yes, he absolutely is. He has a sister and a brother. Can you imagine the Chapin family? They say twins and triplets, they're just so attached that they feel each other's pain. H. Cook, good to see you. Twice in one day, woohoo. They feel each other's pain. They can predict each other's moods. They can feel, it's like a mental telepathy type thing between twins, and even more so with triplets. So you can imagine how the remaining brother and sister feel about the loss of their sibling. Just absolutely horrific, and the family also, and the mom from the Chapin family, I don't recall her first name. She's a really special lady. She's tried to stay positive and above the fray in this, and difficult to do, but she's chosen to try to go on and live their best life, Heather, whatever, yeah, great family of Ethan. That's what I was speaking upon now, how impressed I have been with the mom, that she, has chosen and tried to guide her children and her husband to choose the positive way of going forward, even though it's so difficult and so painful. Margaret DeYounger, June 2025. How did the prosecutor think they'd be ready 2024? Well, perhaps the prosecution may have been ready, but the defense was not ready. Let's not forget that the Koberger case is a death penalty case. Therefore, they must pick a death penalty jury. So that's a lot more difficult to pick a death penalty jury than just an ordinary regular jury. Image embroidery and the silkscreen, I'm not covering that case right now. When you have a channel and you cover different cases, you have to pick and choose. You can't cover every single case, or else you would do nothing else but come on the air. And I come on the air quite often, as you guys know. But you can't, because all of these cases that we cover, they take preparation. They take some knowledge. They take understanding the case. They take reporting the case. So you can't just spit the cases out because you want to. Image embroidery and silkscreen, well, I hope you understand. So people email me all the time and said, would you cover this case? Would you cover that case? And I can't always do that because it is extremely time consuming. And Wanda Courtney, so true. Image embroidery and silkscreen, Heather, whatever. It's difficult with many court cases these days. Delays are part of it. Everyone's waiting for that Karen Reed case, and I wish that case would just be over with. It seems there was so much controversy with that case on the part of the police, the part of the prosecution, and so I want the verdict to come in and the case to be over. And I had said earlier, how does a regular murder case last? I think today was 33 days, 34 days or something like that. So you're talking, in a 5-day week, that's like a 6-week plus trial, right? H. Cook, the jury went home. Yeah, I figured they would go home because you can't stay there forever, right? Goldie, I'm glad you're not covering Karen Reed. It's a mess. I thought yesterday, and again, I haven't even really been paying attention, but you can't help but overhearing things. And it seems like she was going to beat the charges because of a lot of problems with the police work. A lot of problems with how a lot of people describe corruption, but a lot of doubt. And of course, the prosecution has to prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt. Let me just push this up a little bit. And I think the defense is doing a good job of creating doubt. Fuzzy Doxy, good to see you. 68 in the chat, 41 with the thumbs up. Mel, still a truly shoddy investigation. Yeah, Mel, I've heard that. And especially the lead investigator putting tweets on his phone that were disparaging to the defendant. That's not very smart to do that, you know. Pessa Donald Adelson's trials in the fall. Also, you know, I don't know if you guys are all interested because it's going to be a celebrity mess, but Alec Baldwin's trial is in July, I think the second week of July. And I covered that a lot when it first came out. I covered the case and we spoke about, so I put this up close to me. I covered a lot, that case a lot, and I never expected the armorer, Hannah Gutierrez-Reed. I never thought she was going to get convicted. And when you look at the case and you see all the negligence on that set and how no one seemed to want to take responsibility for it. I mean, even the producer, Joel was his first name, who the bullet went through Helena Hutchins, went through her chest, out her back, and hit him in the shoulder. He was harmed by this too. And, you know, when you talk about negligence, you know, I sort of feel once I saw Hannah Gutierrez-Reed get convicted, I sort of think that Alec Baldwin may also get convicted. I really do. I just think that he has as much culpability and maybe more, although he wasn't the armorer, but he pulled the trigger. And Moonlight View, live ammo on a movie set, exactly. And H. Cook, I'm not going to get involved in the Karen Reed case. First of all, I don't. Annie from Belfast, 11 p.m. in Belfast. I don't want to get, you know, I can't get involved in that. I don't know enough about it now because I just let it go. But anyway, going back to the Alec Baldwin case, you know, he was a producer. So what was his role? Wasn't he supposed to have certain responsibilities that were connected to being a producer that partly were safety and ensuring safety on the set? And he took really no responsibility for that. And that's, I think, a little bit disturbing. That remember he was, after it happened, he was going on every TV show saying, oh, I didn't pull the trigger. And the FBI proved that yes, he did. You did pull the trigger. You pulled the trigger. And he really can't go with that defense any longer because it's been definitively proven that he pulled the trigger. So what kind of defense do you think his attorneys are going to go with? That obviously they're going to blame Hannah Gutierrez-Reed. She's in prison right now for her role in this. She's already been sentenced. But can you really blame someone who's already been convicted and is in prison for everything, for all the blame? How about the person? What's the role of the person who was a producer on the film, was starring in the film, and pulled the trigger that killed Helena Hutchins? Is there some role to him? Kami, he's culpable and tried to cover it up. I agree. You know, at first, I mean, look, I'll admit this right up front. I don't like Alec Baldwin, but I sort of didn't want to see him go to jail or to prison. But after the trial for Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, the armorer in the case, seeing that she went to prison, I was just like, well, how is his role any less than her role? So might it be possible that he also will get sentenced to prison after? And look, the trial's not even started, but I'm just asking you guys questions. Pessa, I live in Santa Fe. The community is not pro-Alec. The rumors were that the ammo Well, there was some other negligence on the set. There's so much negligence. Karen French, but she was doing coke. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There was a lot of negligence on the set besides the actual occurrence, the shooting of Helena Hutchins. Pessa, the judge is no nonsense either. Yeah, as every judge should be no nonsense. They're the judge, right? So that's another trial that's coming up. Alec Baldwin. Heather, whatever's in the chat. Coffee with Cannon, backyard beverage. I know I came on twice today, but I was sort of wanted to do an earlier Coffee with Cannon, but then Kim Alliston sent me the link, and Kim, thank you for the hearing, the court hearing today for Brian Koberger. And I said, you know something, this is probably a really good thing to cover because people are, sort of getting inundated with other cases, and maybe people want to hear that there's some progress in the Idaho case. I hope that's looking to John Bittner's conviction at this point. I watch for your coverage on Lisk. I hope someone is seriously. Well, look, I think that the investigators for the Gilgo task force have looked into every aspect of this case. I'm sure, the body that recently Rex Human got charged with, Sandra Castilla, that was murdered in 1993. Initially, they thought that was attributed to John Bitroff, like you say. Look into that. But as they looked into the forensic evidence on that case, they found a hair from Rex Human and from his ex-wife underneath her body in like a canvas wrap. And that's what the evidence that they used to charge Rex Human. In addition, they found all those pictures of him going to that gun range out in Manaville. Did you guys see them online? So he was out there. He was canvassing out there. He was reconning out there. So the only case that we're expecting to drop, and it hasn't yet dropped, is the case of Valerie Mack. And I thought that when they charged Rosalie Libario, hello everyone, good to see you. I thought the case that they were going to charge him with was going to be Valerie Mack, not Sandra Castilla. And so that is another case, Valerie Mack, that we're hoping that they're going to charge Rex Human for. They're going to get around charging him with that case. Oh, Rosalie, I love you. I'm always thinking of you. Sometimes I wish that I had never met you. But if you ever leave me, it would mean my very life to you. I told you guys my father always used to sing that song, and I was like, one day I'll look it up. And Debza Mora 40, hello from Colorado. Debza, I was in Colorado last week. Beautiful, beautiful state. My God, just gorgeous, And Wanda Courtney's in the house. I'm going back to Florida next week. I'm going to the East Coast, and then I'm going to go to the West Coast. But I'm going to be in Florida for a couple of weeks, going back down there. Probably going to be pretty damn hot, But it's pretty damn hot here too, right? So back to Florida, and then I'm going to fly down there and rent a car, because I can't, every time I go to Florida, I can't drive. That's a nasty drive, I know it's like 19 hours, 20 hours, 22 hours. Thank you, Rosalie. Doyle, missed your nice house. Deb Zamora 40. Well, I'm in the backyard by the pool, but I'm facing the opposite direction. So, I could show you guys where I am. I'll stand up and show you the pool. But I decided to stand in the other direction. So yeah, there's the pool. It's looking nice, right? And the water looks beautiful, and it's a beautiful day. And but I decided today to face the other direction. Pickle Toes Grandma, number 56, DNA. What do you mean, Pickle Toes Grandma? So How's the hip? It takes me 4 hours to get to my daughter's beach house, and that's not bad. No, I'm driving up to the Adirondacks tomorrow. It's my father-in-law's 85th birthday, so I'm heading up there, and it's like 3 hours and 15 minutes. Nice crib, Sarge. Chitwin Slim. Well, thank you. Fuzzy Doxy, looking good. Yeah, last night there was like a big storm came through. Goldie, it's looking real nice. 100 Fahrenheit in Texas today. Wow. That is pretty damn hot. 100 degrees Fahrenheit. 85 in the chat. 57 with the thumbs up. P. Doyle, 12 years left. 12 years left, you must be a cop. Counting your time left on the job. Don't ever do that, because you never know how long you're going to stay. I didn't just stay 20. I stayed 27 years, almost 20, not quite 27. But, so, you know, a lot of guys will be 20 and out. As soon as I hit 20, I'm out. But sometimes you're not ready to get out at 20, you know. The people that are not in our profession understand that, 20 and out. 20 years, like teachers. How about teachers? Most teachers, it's 55, 25, right? 55 years old, 25 years on the job. And that's a job that takes its toll on you being a teacher, doesn't it? Dealing with kids all the time. I used to have to deal with college kids, you know. That was even tougher, you know. Pass on peanut butter and jealous of that pool. Well, don't be jealous, you know. You can always go to a pool. I'm sorry, guys, I have like cuts on my face. You know, lately I just can't shave with a razor anymore. I cut the hell out of my face. And then because I take a blood thinner, I don't stop bleeding I got tissue all over my face. I was like, I can't go live with tissue on my face. So I had to, I had to make sure it was gone by the time I came on the air. But terrible, right? I have an electric shaver, but it doesn't shave you close. So every once in a while, you know, let me use the razor, and I never get away with it. Kami, yes, I'm going to teach about to retire due to cancer. Kami, sorry to hear that. Hope you healed up. Hope you're totally in remission. Mel, still, like, teaching can be as draining as it is fulfilling. Yes. Wait, I'm 57 with 37 years in a classroom in public schools. Who has that luxury? Wow. 37 years of teaching. Well, you should retire at absolutely full pay, you know? Absolutely full pay. No, the cooler that you guys probably saw, this white cooler, it's a styrofoam cooler. I'm just using it right now to put my gimbal on. You guys know what a gimbal is, right? A gimbal, it holds your camera, which is the phone, and you can direct it in different directions. 92 in the chat, 66 with the thumbs up. Deb Zamora, my husband is a retired police officer, so you can imagine I love your shows. Well, thank you. Thank you for coming by. We were just at 92. I thought we were going to bust into 100. Now we dropped to 83. What's going on? I'm not having the popularity I used to have, you know? Maybe I should keep showing the pool. People come on the show and they see the pool, you know? 83 in the chat, 69 with the thumbs up. This is Coffee with Cannon. Backyard beverage, bitching with Bill, whatever you want to call it. A lot of things going on. Rosalie didn't get a notification. I don't know how that happens, that you don't get notified. You must be subscribed, right? Heather, whatever, it's all good. I love that expression, it's all good. It's all good, right? You know, the kids in the school used to use this like double negative. They used to say, I'm not trying to fail this test. And I used to be like, why would you try to fail a test? I said, is that the proper way to describe that something that you don't want to do? That I'm not trying to fail? I hope not. Who would try to fail a test, right? Or, you know, I use it in a number of things. I'm not trying to get sick. Well, who would try to get sick, you know? I'm not trying to get in a car accident, you know? All of those it's like a double negative, right? But a lot of my kids at school used to say that, so I thought it was pretty funny. So the news for today, The Koberger trial looks like it's going to go in June 2025. It's a long time away, right? From when the occurrence, November 13th, 2022, to the trial, June 2025. It's that's a long time, isn't it? So, what gets me, is kids saying things like button, not button. Yeah, Bill, get the wife to force feed you mare. The neck is like mine. Mel Stiller, 2.5 years. That is so crazy sad for the family to have to wait so long for justice. Certainly is, Yeah, that whole Koberger case is so baffling, and the why. Helen the Scottish Llama is in the house. Scotland in the house. Scotland, good to see you. The Scottish Llama. Auntie H. Cook, good to see you. 92 in the chat, 82 thumbs. Can we cross 100 this time? That's not even a lot of people, 100. Usually during the day we knock down 300 or so, or 250, 260, or 91, and then people leaving. Let's hit 100. Let's cross that century barrier, right? Eastern Kiwi, hello from New Zealand. Good to see you. Fuzzy Doxy, Aunt BB2. All the fans are in the house. So good to see all you guys. I spoke to both my sons last night. That's unusual that I can get them both on the phone. My one son was in Oklahoma City on work, on job. He's in cybersecurity, and he was doing some presentation. And my son's a good speaker. He's a good presenter. So I think that the company he works for likes to use him to P. Doyle, don't be grabbing. Are you married? Yes. Well, I'm married. Yes. 35 years in September. My Lord. That's a long time, huh? 35 years. Although I'm sure there's people in the chat that have been married longer than me. I think Lieutenant Pete and Michella have probably been married over 50 years. Yeah, people are waiting. The Karen Reed case, though, it's not going to, there's no verdict tonight. The jury went home. So if that jury's going to happen, it'll happen tomorrow. If it doesn't happen tomorrow, you're waiting till Monday. Unless they work over the weekend, which I doubt they would. Heather, whatever, I asked my future husband out 37 years ago. Wow. That's a long time, right? Was it Tricorp by chance my husband worked for? No, it's a new company. It's I don't even remember the name of his company. Debra Mora, 21 years. Congratulations. 90 in the chat, 85 with the thumbs up. We're resistant today to 100, guys. It doesn't seem like we're going to hit 100 today. Every time we get close to it, we drop back down. Every time I try to get out, they drag me back in. Remember that from The Sopranos? Pickletoe's grandma, maybe a hung jury, Bill? Yeah, that could happen. Let's hope not, right? Someone was saying about some possibly jury intimidation. Well, you saw every day people out there protesting, and people like fans of Karen Reed. You don't see that on many cases, right? H. Cook, I hope you fall in love with our West Coast when you come to visit Florida. Yeah, I've been there. I've been to Sanibel Island. I've been to, my sister lives in Fort Myers. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Her 60th birthday. She was the baby in our family of 8 kids. 8 kids in our family, and she was the last one, She was number 8. We finally reached 100. 100 in the chat. 94 with the thumbs up. This is Coffee with Cannon. Backyard beverage, whatever you want to call it, bitching with Bill. But welcome, everyone. DCPNW, hello chat. A lot of things going on. Maybe that's why we don't have so many people listening. But the Karen Reed case is not going to be, a verdict is not coming out tonight. The jury went home. So H. Cook, Fort Myers Beach is on my top 10. I can never remember the name of the place I'm going. I'm going to Captiva Island, which I think is right next to Sanibel. Sanibel. Did you ever hear that song by Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young? I don't know exactly how it goes. Sanibel. They wrote a tune about Sanibel Island, and it was really a good tune. I went to Sanibel Island once, and I went to this restaurant. I said, "Don't you know the song Sanibel?" And the guy had no idea. And I said, you should probably know the song that's making your little island famous, Wanda Courtney, I love CSNY, yes. Fuzzy Doxy, Bill, I've been to Captiva. I love it there. Get ready to find shells. Yeah. Find some shells on Captiva Island. I always forget the name Captiva, and I always try to remember it by like captive, but I never remember it. And I don't know how I remembered it today, but I just did. Wanda Courtney, Neil Young fan. He is in Ontario, Canada next month. Cool. Well, Neil Young is a Canadian, right? Oh, how about the recent death of Donald Sutherland? What a fantastic actor, right? I think he was 87, 88 years old. He was tremendous. I mean, he was good at everything he did, That movie, Ordinary People, with Mary Tyler Moore, he was either nominated for an Oscar or he won an Oscar for that. He was fantastic, and so was Mary Tyler Moore. And then Timothy Hutton played the son. I did a scene from Ordinary People in my acting class, and it was a really tough scene to do because it's very emotional. I had like tears running down my face when I was doing the scene. So I knew that this monologue, it wasn't even a monologue, it was a scene between in the movie, Donald Sutherland and Mary Tyler Moore, where he was basically telling his wife, I don't think I love you anymore, and I was like, whoa, it was really a heavy duty scene. Mel Stiller, I remember that movie, outstanding. It was a great, great movie. And Donald Sutherland he could do comedy. He was in Animal House. He had a very small part, but he was actually in the movie Animal House, and amazing. And his son, like Kiefer. Kiefer's a damn good actor too. I don't think he's as good as his dad, but Heather, whatever. Wow, hard scene to do. Yeah, it was a really hard scene to do, and I liked acting, and I liked taking acting classes, but everything you do, it doesn't come without Dirty Dozen. I watched the Dirty Dozen. Everything you do comes with a price. And acting, you don't just go to class. You have to work at it. You have to learn your lines. Spend hours and hours and hours rehearsing your scene, And that's not easy. And the older you get, as most of you guys can attest to, the more difficult it is to memorize things, right? Donald Sutherland was from New Brunswick, Canada originally. Wow. Mel Stiller, I took acting classes for the theater. That's great. I mean, I think acting classes are good for everyone to take because it really teaches you a lot about presence and about speaking in front of people and stuff. And it's just an incredible, it's a pretty damn good experience, And, but, so few people make it in that business. It's like a needle in a haystack, make it in acting. 1 out of, 1,000 maybe make it, where they make a living at it. And it's crazy. 82 in the chat, 100 with the thumbs up. Please remember to give it a thumbs up, hit the like button, and if you're not subscribed, Go on our YouTube, hit the subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, ring the bell, hit the like button, and show the love for Police Off the Cuff Real Crime Stories. So this is Coffee with Cannon, backyard beverage, bitching with Bill, whatever you want to call it. But it's been a pleasure, and it is a pleasure always to do this show. 103 thumbs up, but only 76 in the chat. People are escaping. Where are they going? Is it dinner time? Mel Stiller didn't want to be a stage actress. It was a way to explore self-expression. Well, good for you. Good for you. No matter what, acting is a tough, it's tough. It's not easy, right? Nothing worthwhile is easy. You play an instrument. If you don't play it all the time, you lose your skills. Barbara Miller, I really enjoy this. Makes me sit down and relax. Supper, Heather, whatever. I forgot I clicked. I bet you there's folks out there in the chat that are piano players, you know. And how great is it to sit down at a piano and just to tickle the ivories, as they say. I know guys and gals that they get older and all of a sudden they're retired and they're like, I want to learn how to play piano. And what you learn about when you start an instrument at an older age is it's not easy, right? So I would imagine that not many people stay with it unless you're really inspired to stay with it. So many people try to learn guitar and they quit because it looks easy. It's not, you know. And I would say that probably no instrument is easy to play, you know. Pickle Toes Grandma, you're my favorite officer. Well, thank you, Pickle Toes Grandma. 73 in the chat, 111 with the thumbs up. Coffee with Cannon. A little later in the afternoon. I thought I'd stop in and say hello to everyone. And pretty soon we'll start the weekend, right? Eastern Kiwi, a new instrument would be good brain gym. Yeah, it would, right? Well, how easy does it look to play the flute or the penny whistle? It looks so easy, but I bet you it's not easy. Or the harmonica. Miss Teddy H3, I started with piano. It was a great way to learn bass and create clef to then try flute and bassoon. You're talking about the bass clef and the treble clef that is on the sheet music to learn how to read. Yeah. I remember when I first started to learn guitar, I was resistant to learn how to read music. And the teacher was like, no, you're learning how to read. I don't want to hear that you don't want to learn how. And thank God they forced me, because a lot of guitar players, they just try to learn by ear. Chitwin Slim, guitar player for 58 years. That's great. It's even if you don't play professionally, it's a great hobby. It's a great thing to pick up and just relax and play the guitar. Figure out melodies, sing a few tunes, right? And it's a relaxing thing, you know. So music, reading. I think these days we get obsessed with our social media too, right? Here we all are, right? H. Cook, yes, he's by the pool, not in front of it. Yeah, I'm sitting with I'm looking into the pool, but I didn't want to move the furniture all around today because some of it's wet from last night and everything, so I just picked, you like my haircut? This time I used to go into the barber and say, give me a 4 and 5. Now it's a 3 and 4, because when I get a 4 and 5, I'm back in like 3 weeks. So I figure I get a 3 and 4, it'll give me more time to not have to get a new haircut. Heather, whatever you're saying, you're singing voices like Kermit the Frog. Eastern Kiwi, great buzz cut. Well, thank you. Mel Stiller, her thing is writing poetry. Good for you. All of those things are great things, you know. Anything creative, the creative process, right? You find out a lot of people do it they just hide it, you know. Elena T, what are you apologizing for? You don't have to apologize. Are you apologizing because you're late? You're late to backyard beverage? Coffee with Cannon, bitching with Bill? That's all right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's still a beautiful night, man. Just beautiful day. Pauline Buckles, I didn't know you were live, but well, Pauline, welcome. Apparently lots of people don't know I'm live because there's only 81 people here. 116 with the thumbs up. Barbara Mill, I've been polishing rocks that I collect from the beach. Good for you, Barbara. DC, PNW, bitching with Bill, Eastern Kiwi. I haven't been doing that much bitching tonight. Fuzzy Doxy, doctor told me I had a vocal cord dysfunction from asthma. Whoa. So yeah, that's a problem, right? So 79 in the chat. Elena T, I misspelled your name, sir. How could you do that? It's so easy. Cannon, C-A-N-N-O-N, Bill, B-I-L-L. That's okay. Rosalie Labradio, 81 in the chat, 119 with the thumbs up. This is Coffee with Cannon, guys. As I said, we covered the trial earlier, not trial, the court case of Brian Kohberger. And Chitwin Slim, do this more, Sarge. The Kohberger case, the Idaho 4 students, is slated to go on trial June 2025. You believe how long that's going to take from the time that it occurred? It's crazy, right? Wanda Courtney, YouTube is hardly giving me any notification, so I had to delete the app and read it. Oh, I'm glad they finally set a date for trial. Michelle Battersby, good day. Good to see you, Michelle. So we're getting some more people. 84 in the chat, 120 with the thumbs up. This is Coffee with Cannon. Backyard Beverage, Barbara Miller, good to see you. It's a long wait for the families, a long wait for the victims' families, a long wait for the people of Moscow, Idaho, a long wait for the people of Latah County, a long wait for the people of the University of Idaho. It's just, it's unfair, it seems, you know. It seems we bend over backwards for the defendant while the families and the victims, the townspeople, the university, basically no one cares about them, you know. And look, before we know it, it'll be June 2025. So everyone was hoping that this case would go in 2024. But one of the reasons they wanted to do this case in the summertime, so that the schools are closed. I think they were thinking it would be like a circus atmosphere if they tried to do it during the year. So they want to do this case in the summertime. So June it was. Hell in the Scottish Lamb, not as long as it took Lori Vallow or Chad Dable to go to trial. Yeah, these things take a long time. There's lots of issues. There's lots of legal issues. There's a lot to logistics issues, you know, and they have to think about all those things. Don't forget that Moscow is a college town, University of Idaho. Probably, you know, I don't know what percentage, but a large percentage of that whole community works for the school. They work for the college. They work for the university. So when they talk about, you know, Ann Taylor, who is the lead attorney for Brian Kohberger, she wants a change of venue. How do you guys feel about that? Do you think Judge John Judge should grant a change of venue and have the trial be in a different town, a different county than Latah County? How do you feel about that? If you think that Judge John Judge should grant the change of venue for the Brian Kohberger case and move it to another town, put a 1 in the chat. If you think that no way on earth should Judge John Judge agree to a change of venue, put a 2 in the chat. So in essence, you think the case should stay in Latah County. Barbara Miller thinks a change of venue. Mostly 2s I'm seeing so far. So you guys that put 1, do you think that Brian Kohberger can't get a fair trial in Latah County, in Moscow? Is that why you're picking number 1, that he can't get a fair trial? I mean, that's the only reason that the judge would grant that if he does. But is it fair to the people of Latah County, of Moscow, that he grants the change of venue and they don't get to have the case that turned their whole town, whole county upside down? They don't get to have the case there. Let's not forget, this is a death penalty case, right? So whatever happens, Brian Kohberger is eligible for the death penalty. So I don't think we can forget that. So they have to get a death penalty jury. What does that mean? What does it mean to get a death penalty jury? Mel Stiller says, yes, he can. There's no place in this country that hasn't heard of this case. True, true. But how would it be difficult to seat a jury of 12 and then I guess 2 or 3 alternates that don't have preconceived notions about Kohberger's guilt or innocence? Will it be difficult? And don't forget, those same people that get chosen for the jury have to be agreeable to issue the death penalty if Brian Kohberger is found guilty. So there's a lot of issues here. There's a lot of issues, you know. So it's not, when you look at it and when you examine it, it's not as simple as you would think, you know. Simbi is in the house. Good to see you, Simbi. 94 in the chat, 125 with the thumbs up. And we're coming up close to, like, we're 7 or 8 minutes from 1 hour. This goes so fast. When I talk to you guys, you show up. You're so kind. It's nice to have you in the chat. It's nice to do a coffee with Cannon. This is a late coffee. I don't think I'm drinking coffee this late in the day. I should have a Cabernet with Cannon. Maybe I'll have one in the dark one day. It just lights up. And we'll have a Cabernet with Cannon. And hope it doesn't get silly. Because people be drinking alcoholic beverages, right? I've had one. I've had a Cabernet, but I just had a glass during one of these shows. Roseanne, it's nice to see you here. And Roseanne says, nice to be here. Well, nice to have you here. Welcome. Welcome to Coffee with Cannon. Backyard beverage. Bitchin' with Bill. Here we are. 97 in the chat. 127 with the thumbs up. Mel Stiller doesn't consume alcoholic beverages. Good for you. You're probably better off. Kim Allison, wow, that went quick. Good to meet with all our friends. Absolutely. Kim, and thank you, Kim Allison. If you guys haven't noticed, she does a fantastic job as a moderator. She's always plugging police off the cuff. Wherever she goes, she's plugging police off the cuff. And we really appreciate that. 99 in the chat, 128 with the thumbs up. Coffee with Cannon, backyard beverage, bitching with Bill. I'm going to let you guys see another view of the pool since I stood the wrong way and you guys didn't get to see the pool. So how's that looking? And I got the umbrellas. I'm sitting under the umbrellas. I told you guys yesterday I got up in the morning and I saw a mama deer and a little fawn walking across my lawn and just moseying as if they own the place, you know. Eastern Kiwi, stunning backyard. Thank you. Amy Peroyan, joining from Dubai, 2 a.m. over here. Wow, Dubai. Dubai's beautiful, man. I see some of those buildings. It's just absolutely incredible looking. Oh, those are pretty umbrellas. Let me take a little walk here. Well, we'll see. You just stepped off the deck a little bit. Just to give you a little bit of a view so it's not boring. Eastern Kiwi, your own piece of paradise there. Yeah, it's sort of nice, right? Nice place to hang out. And Miss Teddy 3, we had a fawn in our garage. Mama came for it the next day. Hey, that's great. I put a picture on YouTube, and the place I rent in Florida, a whole family of ducks was born outside my front door. there was like a mama duck and about 6 or 8 little ducklings, and the guy put the address of my condo right in front, so I'd see that they were in front of my house. And he goes, "Oh, they're coming to look for you." I go, "I don't know about that," but it was pretty cool. And one of the eggs that one of them just hatched for was still like on the sidewalk, and I was like, "Wow, that's crazy." Yeah, it is pretty cute. I have to admit, that was pretty cute. 93 in the chat, 132 with the thumbs up. This is Coffee with Cannon, backyard beverage. I'll do a little bit of walk here, just give you guys an idea of where I am back here. The gimbal has a mind of its own. It's moving around. Yeah, keep all your ducks in a row. What a cliche is that, right? Get all your ducks in a row. I used to hate that expression, What do you mean? My ducks in a row. I don't have any ducks. Well, they mean, get your shit together, basically. Get organized, right? Get all your ducks in a row. Does anyone... Fuzzy Docs had a squirrel that I was giving a peanut to jump in my kitchen window. It was crazy time. I opened the window for it to jump out. Bucky loved the chase. You can't be too friendly to wild animals because, yeah, they will move into your house. The next thing you know, you have some boarders, right? And they're living. Yeah, this is the pool. I want you guys to see the pool. I'll give you a little better view here. So, and then I'll show you the where I was sitting under. Hang on a second. We'll get back here. That's where I was sitting, right there. So you guys could see. There we go. This gimbal has a mind of its own. It's just moving around. Yeah, let me get it back this way. Okay. Yeah, that's where I was sitting under doing the show. It can't be nice to bears. No, you don't want bears moving into your house. So yeah, that's the umbrellas I was sitting under. Cross your T's and dot your I's. Love the big entrance to it. Such a pretty yard. Yeah, it's pretty. It's beautiful. I do appreciate it, I was one of 8 kids and didn't have this growing up. So when I could give it and help provide for this for my own kids, and my wife too. My wife works really hard. She works very hard. Pools are great, lots of fun, and save on the mowing, Roseanne. 107, how did 107 sneak into the chat without me even noticing? I started showing little panoramic views of the pool, and all of a sudden 107 people were in the chat. So yeah, it's a beautiful day, and I came on again, and guys, I'm sorry about my face. I cut myself shaving. I can't stop bleeding. Nice retirement. I retired in December 2020. Don't miss the office routine at all. Web fan, I don't miss punching a clock. I keep getting offered teaching jobs, and to tell you the truth, I just don't want to do it. I don't want to punch a clock either. Maybe if I moved to Florida, I would love to teach there and be a little different. A different audience, but yeah, I just don't want to have to be somewhere. And believe it or not, this podcast is a job. It is really a job. I put a lot of hours into this, and it's I put a lot of heart and soul into this podcast. So I don't consider myself really being retired when I do this. Keeps my brain occupied, and I get to talk to you guys. I get to talk to people all over the world every single day. Isn't that great? Heather, whatever, you do a great job. Thank you, Heather. It's a labor of love, but I'm very type A, and I don't want to just be okay. I want to be really good at it, So maybe if I wasn't so type A, I wouldn't feel like that, but I am type A. And I just want to thank also everyone that came by this afternoon. I usually don't do a podcast or do coffee. See me sharp. We have a gator by the garden. That's great. I want to thank everyone for coming by this afternoon. I usually don't do a show at this hour, but I just thought, let me. I'm going away for the weekend. I won't be doing a regular podcast. Maybe I'll do a Coffee with Cannon while I'm away. But I said, let me knock one out before I leave tomorrow, and D.O. Block, Bill, we appreciate all the hard work you put into the podcast. Well, thank you so much. It's very much appreciated that you guys appreciate me. I appreciate that. We're going to a crazy appreciation. But anyway, guys, there's 10 seconds left. I want to thank everyone for coming by today. I'm Bill Cannon from Police Off the Cuff, Coffee with Cannon, Backyard Beverage, whatever you want to call it. Have a great night, everyone, and God bless.